like that's pretty well cooked, huh? So, all right, welcome back again. We are going to be back on the JK Wrangler here. Just got a couple more front end projects going on with it, but first we are going to get started with the Draglink today. It goes from the pitman arm down to the passenger steering knuckle. And this whole job here, the way I'm going to do it, I'm not taking any wheels off. I'm just going to lay like this. I'm just going to take this off here, off there. That way everything here stays the same. And then I'll put it all together, you know, with the new one, same length and everything. And that way it'll just bolt right back up in the same location. We won't change the position of the steering wheel or anything like that. Yeah, let's get going. We'll just use some basic tools here and get her done. Oh man, it's loose already. Wow. Up here, the whole entire stud was spinning inside the pitman arm. So it makes it difficult to loosen the nut, obviously, because it's spinning. So you got a couple options. Don't have a lot of room up there, so that'd be your call. But what I've done in the past is you get a jack, block of wood or something, and you basically just push up on it, put it back in, you know what I mean, seat it back in there, and hopefully it'll stick enough that you can loosen this up. I'm pretty sure we have it. Okay, nut's moving. It looks like the stud's spinning, but that's the shadow of my hand. So it's definitely moving. So there, we're good there. So I'll keep loosening it up with the wrench, and then we'll be able to knock that out. We'll be fine. Okay, we got that freed up. There we go. You either do that method or they do make those forks that go in there and you just pound it in between the two pieces, but that usually works good for me. Okay, so we got the top part done, so I just got laying there. So next, we're going to take off this nut here. It's the same size, 21 millimeter. I'm just going to do it with the breaker bar and just regular wrench, just to show you, you know, simple tools. So we'll get that broken loose right now and get it all taken off. There. That's why you need a bigger breaker bar, but...
No.
I actually have to reuse this sleeve since we don't have a new one, which is fine. If it was real beat up, you know, I mean, real corroded, we got a new one, but this one's fine, and the kit that we ordered didn't come with it for some reason. So I'm just gonna loosen these up, which I actually got them loosened already. This breaker bar, then it'll be freeing up this stuff here. And a couple ways you can do that. Ideally, if you have a pipe wrench, small pipe wrench, that's perfect. But if not, you should be able to get away with it with even a pair of vice grips or channel locks of some kind, and go from there. And they put little reliefs in here that you can get a wrench on that and stuff. All right, before I start undoing all this stuff here, I like to you know, kind of get you in a ballpark. Probably see where I'm going with this, but I like to get a measurement. That way you can get it roughly the size where you need to be. So for me, I'm just going like the end of the tie rod end to the end of the tie rod end on the outside there. Mine's about 42 1/8, so that'll work out perfect for me. So I'll get this all disassembled and start putting it together, get it about 42 1/8, and then, you know, I'll fine tune it with the sleeve once I go to install it. But the other thing too I want to show you is, again, this is, you can see I'm just kind of out here on the concrete. You don't need a shop to do this. This is pretty easy stuff, pretty basic. So even if you just have a pair of channel locks, get a hold of this here. I actually already broke this loose. maybe 7/8 wrench is perfect, but even if you have a crescent wrench, adjustable wrench, that 7/8 goes right on there. And I was able to hold that there. Probably even move it now. Yep, it's broken loose here. So you can do it there. And then even down here, it will move. Put my knee on it, see if I can. Yep. So this one's nice and loose too. So like I said, I'm gonna get this all apart. And then we'll start putting it all back together. And then the only thing I can recommend is if you have anti-seize or even just grease, throw it on here. And get it all put together. That way it stays nice and lubricated like this one was. So quick. So we got that like that. We'll rotate all this down just to get it in its right area. Just like that. So the nut here, leave it at your own discretion. You can torque it to spec if you want. Otherwise, I just get as tight as you can get it, put that cotter pin in. But from what I found, this is 63 foot-pounds. So that's what we're gonna do right now. That's it. Hammer those down however you want. There we go. So that's done. Okay, quick thing here. Well, not really a quick thing. So I want to show you. So it's basically, it's, you know, it's pretty tight, but I need to torque this. This one I want to torque for sure because there's no cotter pin in the top one. So definitely want to get this one torqued. You can see the extra long stud here. So that's a problem because it's not letting the socket sit down on it and the wrench, and I keep hitting up here on the cross member before anything. So again, I'm not the only one that thought this, but this one was like that too. And you could see the top of it's been trimmed. So that is the plan of action here. I haven't seen too many people talk about it because they put aftermarket ones. And aftermarket, I mean ones for, you know, people that think they're going off-roading. So with those ones, they don't have the extra long stud. It just pretty much all thread. It ends, you know, like that. So there's no problems with torquing that upper one. So that'll be up to you. You know, you can buy those brands. I'm sure I could probably find a couple. I'll link in the description. But if you're going with just, you know, your basic aftermarket replacement, this is what you're gonna end up with. So you'll need to trim that top stud. You know, I'd probably just make it close to the threads as you can, just to make it easier on yourself. So right now, I'll show you how to do that. Ideally, you do this with the off the vehicle, but we can do it with it on. I got this cutoff wheel, this cheapy 3-inch cutoff wheel, and we'll just trim it right back like that. So we'll do that real quick. Aha. Okay. 63 foot-pounds. Good to go. Okay, so we got everything torqued down there. We got our sleeve torqued. Everything installed. Last thing here, got this all greased up. I switched out the straight fitting for this angled one. Makes it a lot easier to get your grease gun on it, because that mine kept hitting right here and I couldn't get it on straight. So I just switched that out, got it all pumped up, so we're all good to go. So at this point we have completed, you know, changing out that Draglink. So for now, that's going to wrap up this portion of the front end work on the Jeep. The next video will be, we'll do the stabilizer next time. But otherwise, hope you liked the video. Hope this will help someone. And you know, feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know what you would have done differently or what you found works great. I like hearing all that feedback. But otherwise, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.